Babur the Turk was an invader of India. Babur was inspired by his ancestor Taimur and attacked India and became the ruler of Delhi. His grandson Akbar was liberal in his religious approach, but he was always proud of his Taimurian ancestry. He declared himself a Ghazi by beheading a Hindu king, Hemachandra Vikramaditya of Delhi, and was proud of it all his life. Earlier, his father Humayun had been thrown out of India by the Afghan Sher Shah Suri. To counter the Afghan, Akbar forged a friendship with the Rajputs and presented himself as a liberal towards the Hindus. He abolished the discriminatory jizya tax and the pilgrimage tax on Hindus. These liberal gestures helped curtail the further destruction of India. And India regained much of her economic prosperity. Jahangir, the son of Akbar, resumed the policy of forced conversion of Hindus. Many of the Delhi sultans used to ill-treat their Indian subjects. They would attack and capture them and sell them in slave markets. Every slave had to embrace Islam. To escape conversion, many moved to take refuge in the thick jungles. Who were these people? Historian Professor K.S. Lal writes that today all the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward classes combined make up 50% of India's population. This staggering high figure has been reached because of historical forces operating in the medieval times primarily. Muslim rule spread all over the country. Resistance to it by the Hindus also remained widespread. Jungles abound throughout the vast land, from Gujarat to Bengal, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and flight into them was the safest safeguard. According to him, this is how scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people are found in every state. During the medieval period, they lived almost like wild beasts in improvised huts in forest villages, segregated and isolated, suffering and struggling.